Good evening. Welcome to the Impact TV and Subject to Talk tonight. We're ecstatic that you're on board tonight, and that we have a great crew that we're going to be working with tonight, bringing you some information, talking to you about various things in real estate, some things happening there. We have tonight. We're going to have 4 or 5 guests that are on, and we're excited about that. And so, welcome, Roger Pascal. This is August 22nd, our fireside chat for all things real estate. So we've had a very eventful week this week. Lots of stuff going on in the news. Lots of stuff going on worldwide. A lot of unknowns. How this is going. How some of these issues around the world are going to affect real estate, but I don't foresee it really affecting anything in the short term. We may have some long-term issues out there regarding interest rates and stuff, but any adjustment at all in real estate helps our business as investors. We just need to recognize it, and we need to understand what those adjustments are going to be, or those changes are going to be, and then we work to make a plan to work around those changes that we have. So we've this week we've had some challenges as far as my real estate business has gone, regarding seeing some of the market fluctuations, some of the market changes here in Texas. And I think what we're seeing is maybe a little bit of changes that we're seeing, just a little bit here and there coming through for the industry. I think we're seeing some housing sales. The frenzy is starting to slow down. We still have a frenzy. Don't get me wrong. We're not in a downturn or anything like that, but we still have a frenzy out there. And but we're not seeing the houses that go on the market and immediately start getting just stupid offers within an hour, within 2 hours. Sight unseen. I'll pay you $20,000 more than it's listed. I'll pay you whatever. We're starting to see that slow down just a little bit. I got about 150 emails regarding open houses. Now, we haven't really seen that many open houses in several months. Now, that kind of tells me that they're not getting a contract within a day or two of those properties. And those open houses were all in North Texas, all in really, for the most part, the DFW area, the Dallas-Fort Worth, and the surrounding counties. But I am on various different email type information. And like I said, we saw about 150 open houses that popped up that just came through those emails. And that doesn't include all the open houses that are out there. It's just to the services that I subscribe to try to get an idea of where we're at, of what is happening in our local markets here. So I know that we have people on this call that are nationwide, and you just kind of look and see what's going out there. If somebody tells you something, you might trust but verify, sort of like what we do with wholesalers. You want to verify the prices. You want to verify that the rehab costs are going to be the same or whatever else. But we are seeing some changes there. We're starting to, and people work off emotions. So they're working to, they almost get into a panic mode when something changes, even slightly. It's interesting to watch, interesting to see what happens with that. But it is interesting to see how people's emotions go and what's happening on that basis. So we are seeing, like I said, we're seeing a little bit longer times on the market, but they're not drastically longer. We're only talking about a week or 2 weeks. When the subprime hit, it was not unusual to see a property listed in the MLS, a retail property listed in the MLS for 9 or 10 months, because we had at the time about 9 or 10 months worth of inventory. Our inventory got down to less than a week. I didn't pull a report. I meant to do that before I got on this call tonight, but I'm guessing that our inventory is probably maybe 8 or 9 days of inventory in the MLS right now in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I haven't looked in the surrounding areas and the surrounding MLSs, but that's kind of my guess. It might be up to 15 days now, which is really a lot of tight inventory there. We still have a lot of people moving in. We had a big announcement in the Fort Worth area that I think it's, I may be butchering the name of the company, but Rubicon, which is a electric pickup truck manufacturer, has struck a deal to move west of Fort Worth, just right on the city limit sign area between Fort Worth and Toledo. That's going to bring in thousands and thousands of jobs coming in there, which will mean thousands and thousands of more people will be moving into the area. So, which is a good thing for investing. It's not such a good thing if you're wanting to drive across town and deal with the traffic. So that's going to be exciting to see what's happening there. Anytime there's conflict around the world and there's any issues with that, we see the defense contractors that are writing new contracts that are they don't only sell to the United States, they sell everywhere in the world. So when people feel threatened, they increase their purchasing. So we have Lockheed, and we have Bell Helicopter, and we have all the other trickle down companies that trickle down and other defense contractors here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And they're nationwide. They have manufacturing facilities and distribution facilities and sub-manufacturing facilities all over the country. So I think we're going to see that part of the industry ramp up whenever we have somebody come into the leadership of our country and they decide to start shutting down bases or turning off the spigot to the defense contracts. We start seeing people panic. Something that I've always interesting is whenever we see defense contracts that don't go through or whatever, we see a lot of for sale by owner signs around the defense contractor facilities. A lot of houses around there, people panic and they're looking for a job somewhere else or whatever it may be. We're not seeing that right now. So with that said and done, we have some great leaders that are on our call tonight. We're excited to bring them on. We have a couple of leaders that aren't going to be on the call tonight due to some scheduling conflicts that we have, but we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we have there. Our next Impact meeting is going to be in Grapevine, and that's going to be at 6:30 networking, 7 o'clock in Grapevine, Texas on Monday night. That's going to be at the, oh my gosh, I went blank on the name of the name of the place that it's like a Dave & Buster's. It's not Dave & Buster's. The Main Event. I'm sorry. It's at the Main Event there in Grapevine. It is free to go to. It is they're going to have a wonderful presentation this Monday night. So please look at getting there. Networking at 6:30. The event starts at 7. If you want this business to work for you, you need to be at local real estate meetings. You cannot build a real estate investment business out of your basement, or if you do, it's not going to be very successful. It's not going to be very big. You've got to be out there to network. Working with some investors this week. We're not finding the investment properties in the MLS. There's a few properties in the MLS, but the majority of them are not going to be in the MLS. When they are in the MLS, you have a lot of competition. So with that said, you want to try to make it to the Main Event in Grapevine, Texas, Monday night, tomorrow night, in the Main Event at the Main Event at 6:30 networking. So they will have food there. They normally have pizza and some other entrees out there and a salad. Of course, Cokes and tea and other beverages are served out there too. So we look forward to seeing everybody in Grapevine tomorrow night. I'll be there. So I look forward to seeing you. If you can be there, I'm going to be there. We had a great meeting last week in Longview. That was a incredible meeting that was put on the 5 skills of real estate investing. That is a program that we have. It's kind of the starter program, or kind of a introductory program, not starter, but introductory program to our training and what we have. It is a great program that we have out there. It is available, and we would love to see if you have any questions on that. Feel free to message us, and we can get you some information on that. It is the only at-home study course that we have. But Dennis has made this work. You know, with COVID coming through and what we had last year, we really had to revamp. How are people going to learn how to do real estate investing, how to find banks, how to find money, how to find the deals, how to find motivated sellers, what to say to the motivated sellers. What do I need to do to get this property under contract so nobody else can put it under contract? How do I find buyers or tenants that are going to be quality buyers and quality tenants that I have out there? And what do I say to them when I'm out there? And also, how do I do the paperwork? That's always a big deal out there. People, paperwork's not hard. Once you learn how to do it, it's fill in the blank forms, but you want to make sure you're doing the right forms and the right fill in the blank forms on that. So we have a wonderful program on there. It's called the 5 Skills. It's a 7-week at-home training program that we have. If you're interested in that, please let us know, and we can definitely get you set up on that. So it's a very, very inexpensive program to get started on, and we can go from there. So good deal. So we are going. Is CJ? Can you? Is Pam and Tony on tonight? And I froze up. Okay. I hope you can still see me. I hope you can still hear me.
I can see you.
It looks like my screen is frozen. Hopefully I'm not frozen. So let's see what we have going here.
Hey, Roger, it's Pam. Can you?
There we go. All right. Pam, how are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good.
And you are on mute, I believe.
No.
There we go. Can't hear you?
Can you hear me now? I'm not on mute.
CJ, can you hear her? I think we're having a little technical difficulties here tonight. Pam, I know you. Doug can hear her. I just can't hear her.
Okay, so CJ just told me and Doug told me that they can hear me. So.
You know what? It works a lot better when I don't have my speakers turned off. Pam, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you now because I had my speakers turned off because I'm a doofus. Okay, good deal. Thank you, Doug, for letting us know that you could hear her too.
We had our meeting last Tuesday on short sales, and we had a decent, pretty decent turnout and stuff, and learned quite a bit about, what to do when they start popping, up and everything. Our next meeting is going to be September the 14th, and it's going to be with Arnie Abramson about property tax sales. We haven't distinguished a place yet. He's coming from Greenville. He asked if I could find a place a little bit closer, so we're looking at a little bit different venue than Indicator for him.
Oh, he can drive. He's driven out further than that. So
anyway,
yeah.
So, we have but a couple of the people in the class, and they've come to the meeting. I went with Nelda the other day. She's in our part of our group, and she's looking at buying a house out in Roanoke, and she just texted me. We're about $20,000 apart, but hopefully we can get that to going. We have a group that's averaging from 10 to 25 people, and I've been in contact with those people, and several of them got deals going on right now, and they're coming out from our group and our meetings, sitting and talking about it and stuff. I have things going on. I've got a property in Justin, a property in Bowie. We're probably picking up 2 more in White Settlement. So we have a lot going on right now.
Absolutely. That is exciting out there. Now, next month, Arnie Aberson on September the 14th. If somebody's on this call and they don't know who Arnie is or what Arnie does, you need to be at that meeting. Even if you do know who he is, you need to be at that meeting.
It's property tax sales, how to buy properties at the courthouse. It's, people who have not paid their property taxes. And and I haven't advertised this yet. He has a big secret to tell. He has a big secret. And I pinky promised that I would not talk about it I'll give him the chance to do it at the meeting. And what's really interesting is Dallas County has started doing property taxes online. He sees a lot of it going online. I talked to David Stockman, who's one of the trustees, on the foreclosures, and he is saying the same thing. So we're going to see some changes. And talking about, changes that's happening, I live in Boyd, Texas, outside of Boyd, on our family farm. And I am seeing more property going up for sale in my area left and right. I have 3.5 acres in downtown Boyd. We're only asking $350,000 for it. We're going to try to turn it commercial. That's really cheap. I've had 5 interested properties, 5 people to ask me about it. When I told them the price, they were a little bit shocked about it and everything. So in my area, it is changing. Properties, I noticed that in the Metroplex, closer to the Metroplex, I have agents, with buyers and stuff. We are seeing properties staying on a little bit longer. We're also seeing properties coming back on the market that did not go through the first time. I had 6 telephone calls this last week of properties that came back on back on the market. And as agents, we make comments on our showings, and I put, please contact us if these come back. Client was interested, whether they were interested or not, because it's another way of picking up deals also. So
absolutely,
in my area, we have a lot going on.
Very good. Very good.
And then people are asking how we're finding them. I have great bird dogs that are finding our deals for us. Michael up in Decatur, he's a wholesaler. He's found some deals for us. So it's all about that networking.
All right. All right. So, and Pam, this something falls into your questions too. Somebody has just put online. I don't know if I'm froze up or not, but if y'all can hear me, somebody has just.
What is the best way to find sub 2 properties? So one way, the short sale, I think is going to be the class that we had about short sales. I think with people that have very little equity when they're doing a short sale, that's going to be a good way of doing finding sub 2 properties. We're finding sub 2 properties through lawyers, probate lawyers, divorce lawyers. And if you want to know how to get to lawyers, have to come to my marketing class.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the way I've picked up sub 2s before is you're looking for people that have problems, because we are problem solvers. We have the solution when we come into their door, and there's various ways that we can help those people that have problems, but it can be individuals, it can be corporations. I've done subject twos on big buildings, on large buildings. I've seen subject twos go out there through apartment complexes and retail centers. I've seen personally, I have done a ton of sub 2 deals with other investors that were landlords, and they're tired of the toilets and tenants. So there's multiple ways that are great ways to find sub 2s out there. We're just out there, and we're listening. We're listening to everything somebody says.
We post bandit signs when we get off. When you go to someone else, I'll go get a copy of our bandit sign and show it to you, because we have picked up properties off the bandit signs. Our bandit signs say something different than everybody else's, and we do get calls off of them.
We'll do that. I'll call on you before we get Dennis on to wrap it up tonight. So I'll call back on you on that basis. You got anything else going on out there, Pam?
I think I've covered it all.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, Pam was talking about just a second ago about some of the deals that she's got working with herself and with other investors too. I have a student that I coached several months ago, and he's buying actually in Buffalo, New York, and he's going to be closing on 6 properties this week. So, and he picked them up at a screaming deal, and it's Buffalo, New York is actually growing, and it's the first time that city has grown in over 70 years that's had any growth to it. So he's able to pick up some of these properties. He's getting some screaming deals out there, and he's doing that because that's where he's from. He lives in Fort Worth, but he's from Buffalo. And so the deals are out there. They're out there all over the country, all over the continent. So
Airbnb.
there you go. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Airbnb too. So Pam, thank you so much for being on here tonight. And it looks like Doug can be on tonight. And Doug Toon is our Longview guy, Longview, Texas, East Texas. So hello, Doug. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
All right. So you're actually in your office tonight. There you go. So good deal. Mosquitoes chase you out of the park here. Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah.
I bet it is. So tell us what's going on in Longview, Texas.
Okay. Well, of course, right now we've got a rehab underway, and spending some time over there back and forth, getting materials to them and stuff. But it looks like my ARV has gone up in the last couple of weeks. It's pretty amazing. It just bang, bang, bang. Everything's going up. And let's see, our next meeting in September, it's going to be the Monday before we go to Cancun. So Renee's tied up with her dad's funeral plans, and so I'm probably just going to do a shortened version of Dennis's options lesson. And if you've never used an option, listen, it's your last option. It's your last resort. So when you're walking out of the house and you can't get them to take a deal on cash only, you can't get them to take a terms deal, you can't get them to do terms and cash, then the next best thing, if they want full price, the next best thing is to get an option on this property and say, okay, basically you're going to sell this property to me for X amount of dollars, and I've got 30, 60, 90 days. I've had options up to 12 months before, and it's sitting right there, and then you take that option and you go record it, and it's magic. So everybody should come and hear how options work. And what else? One of the students that we signed last week at our meeting has come up with a deal. He was going through, I think he was on the first lesson, but he said, okay, I'm all in, I'm going to do this. And so he put out an advertisement, and he got a bite, and it's a little 2-1 in Arp, Texas. I know nobody knows where Arp is, but us East Texas people know. And it looks pretty decent. It's probably ARV at 78 right now, and we're going to try to get an option on that so that they can make some money.
All right.
Yep.
All right. That's great to hear. I love to see the successes that our students have, and that we have ourselves on real estate investing, because that's what we do. We are all investors. Every one of us that are involved in Impact are investors, and we have some of the best people out there that are investing that we're working with, training them to get to that next level. How to find the money or how to market or whatever it may be. So, well, good deal. So options are great. I want to tell you a quick little story on that. We've got some time tonight, and I'm always full of stories, Doug. So, but I knew a gentleman that bought lots of acreage one time on an option, and he bought it for future land development. He put it on a 10-year option. And in the agreement he made, he would carve that property out 25 acres at a time to develop it. And when he when he would carve the 25 acres is when the farmer would get paid. So up to that point, the farmer is able to use the land, able to run his cattle, able to produce crops or whatever was on the land, but I believe it was all cattle. And he did not have to worry about what was going to happen upon his death. He did not have to worry about his family fighting over, how they were going to sell that property and winding up with lawyers getting all the value out of the property. So he developed that land and over I think it took him about 6 or 7 years total to develop that land. I think he did about 25 acres at a time, and he just really did really well. He picked that land up where they were putting in a major road in the area and a major intersection. So it made it easy for him to develop that as a land process. And he just had to pay for it 25 acres at a time. Now, the land was worth about $12,000 an acre. And this is the interesting part. He offered the guy $25,000 an acre. Now you look at that and say, how does that work? How am I going to make $25,000 work on this land? Well, when he had it tied up and when he first tied it up, like I said, the land was worth about $12,000 an acre. By the time he wrapped it up, it was worth many, many more times than that. So it was worth a lot more dollars per acre when he started wrapping that up. But he did okay, because even at $25,000 an acre, twice the going price, he already had it wrapped up. He knew how to work with the municipalities to make sure he had electric and he had water there, that he had sewage there, he had all the utilities coming in, all the roads coming in, everything that he needed to happen. So he made a small fortune on that one deal by just being a land guy, just putting that land together. So like Doug said, on the options, you want to know how to do that. Because if that falls into your lap, you want to make sure you have an opportunity for that. And that also works on, as Doug said, on single family houses. So that works all the way across the board, from single family all the way up to the bigger stuff out there. That's how most of these big developers, when they're developing shopping centers or they're developing a shopping area, they'll put much of that land under an option. Disney did that in Orlando when they built Disney World. Disney's done that all over the country. There are thousands and thousands of acres that have been tied up at one time or another that Disney has planned. Well, we might put a facility amusement park in this area. I know there's one between Fort Worth and I believe it's Glenrose or Granbury. I think it's Glenrose, Fort Worth and Glenrose, that Disney bought or put an option on thousands of acres back in the 70s that never transpired. But that's how these big developers do it. That's how we do it as little developers too. So you want to make sure you're there in Longview to see that process happen. So Doug, you got anything else?
That's it, Roger.
All right. Good deal. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on here, and take care of your bride, and we will talk to you this next week. So thank you so much, Doug, for being on here. So CJ, if we could add Tony to the list. Tony's got some exciting news out there. Tony is our Arlington guy, and good afternoon, Tony. How are you?
Roger, I'm doing terrific.
All right.
And I'm trying to get this adjusted. Too much light behind me. Roger, you mind if I talk a little bit about a transaction we're involved in?
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be perfect.
All right. Well, tomorrow morning, we are traveling to Temple, Texas. We're in Fort Worth now, and we're going down to Temple to purchase a single-family residence. And it came about because a wholesaler reached out to me. I have no idea how he got my name or my number, but he heard we buy properties in Waco. And he reached out, asked me if I was interested in looking at a property in Temple, said I was. We sent a guy who works for us, we sent him down to walk through the property with the wholesaler. And when he did a video for me, actually a live video. And from that, I estimated repairs to be $6,000 to $12,000, depending upon our exit strategy. The wholesaler said his sales price was firm at $122,000. So I ran my numbers, did our analysis, and I came up with $116,439 as our cash offer. I presented it to the wholesaler, and he said, no, he was firm on 122. I said, well, thanks for the opportunity, and maybe we can do some business down the road. 5, 6 days later, he must have been down the road because he called me and he said that if you're still interested, I'd like to sell you the property. And I said, well, look, I'm firm at 116,439. And he said, okay. So that's the property we're buying tomorrow. We are using private money to purchase it. We're going to borrow $118,500. And we're borrowing a little bit more than what we're going to acquire it for because that'll cover our closing costs and put a little bit of money in our pocket. The terms of our private money, 6%, 5-year maturity, 20-year amortization. Now, here's the really interesting part of all of this. On Wednesday, right before, about an hour before I was going to sign the assignment, which I did sign, but an hour before, I get a call from an investor buyer. And this investor we've worked with before. We actually sold him a property in January of this year with seller financing. So we're his bank. Excuse me. He calls me every month. We chit chat about real estate, and he always asks if I have something to sell. And he calls on Wednesday and he asks, do you have anything to sell? And I said, as a matter of fact, I do. I got a property in Temple, Texas. Now remember, we haven't bought it yet. We're buying it tomorrow. And I tell him a little bit about it. And I said, are you interested? And he says, yeah. So I send him some information about it. I send a link with pictures and the terms under which I'd sell it to him. We traded 2 to 3 text messages and had about a 3-minute follow-up phone call. We agreed on the terms of sale. So here's what's going to happen. We're buying this property tomorrow. The investor buyer and I have already signed all the paperwork for us to sell it to him, which will happen a week later. So we'll buy it tomorrow. I'll submit the paperwork to sell it to the title company. And then when we sell this property, we're going to get a purchase price. Now we're selling it with owner financing. So we're going to be the bank, which means we're going to wrap our private money with a loan to the investor buyer. And we're selling it for $173,000. We're buying it for $116,439. Our all-in cost is $118,500 because of our loan. We're selling it for $173,000 with a 10% loan, 30-year amortization. The net result will be we won't have any responsibility for repairs, taxes, or insurance. And our net cash flow every single month is going to be $670 after we pay our debt service to our private lender. Plus, we're going to have note equity, the difference between what the investor buyer owes us and what we owe our private lender. We're going to have note equity of $54,500. What's really cool about that is every month the note equity increases. In fact, it increases 4% every year because our buyer is on a 30-year AM and our loan is on a 20-year AM.
Wow.
Now, this will be the 20th note that we've created. And in at least half of these, we have no money of our own invested. And tomorrow, we won't have any money of our own. Remember, I said repairs would be $6,000 to $12,000, depending upon the exit strategy. Well, I should have said $0 to $12,000, depending upon the exit strategy, because we're not doing any repairs. I explained to him, the investor buyer, what needs to be done. But I said, if you want this deal, we're not going to do any repairs. And he wants the deal. So we're going in, no money of our own. We're going to pull out $670 a month or $8,000 a year. Like I said, we've done 20 of these, half of them with no money of our own. So here's the thing. If any of our listeners are interested in learning about the mechanics of a transaction like this, or you just want to know a little bit more about real estate investing, Then come join us at Impact Arlington, the third Thursday of every month, beginning September 16th. Our meetings will be held at the Texas Gulf Center in Arlington, conveniently located off of I-30 and East Chase Parkway. And we really hope to see you there. Roger, thanks for letting me share that.
Thank you. Yeah, and that meeting's networking's at 6:30 and meeting starts at 7. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and that is is that a Thursday night?
That is a Thursday night.
All right, good deal. Good deal. What a great story on that, and Tony.
Yeah.
That is just that is absolutely incredible, and that's what we do. Literally, every day in this business, somebody in this group is doing all that basis, all that we make that happen. So congratulations on that. That's how we get from point A to point B. And you are that is, like you said, that's what we teach. That's how, if you want to learn this, you need to be in Arlington on the 16th. So there we go. So good deal, Tony. Thank you so much for being on here tonight. And did you have anything else to throw out there?
No, I don't. That's not the only deal that we're working on. Like the others, we continue to work on multiple transactions. So I guess I did have something else to say, but that's it. Thanks.
All right, good deal. Thank you so much. And tell Cindy hi. So, but thank you so much for being on here tonight. And we're going to ask Pam to come back on real quick and show us your bandit sign. Tell us what you've done on that.
Okay.
There you go. You were standing on your head.
So
Step back a little bit. There we go.
So what we've done, and I'll pick this up, we have a broken, how come I can't, there we go. We have like a broken toilet over here. And
Okay.
It grabs your attention. And then our sign says, sell your problem house. There's the phone number. And then it says, any situation and any condition. There we go.
All right. Good deal.
So we picked up quite a few phone calls off of this. The broken toilet grabs the attention, and because it says any situation in any condition, we don't have, everybody knows that wholesalers can pay cash and all that, but it's the problem house, any situation in any condition. And that's what makes ours stand out. That's what we've been told anyway.
Very good. Very good. So thank you for sharing that with us. One day in private, I'll tell you about a broken toilet story that's quite interesting. So we'll go from there. But Pam, thank you so much. We will see you in a couple of weeks. When are you going to be? September 14th. There you go. Right, Arnie? Yep. And we need to try to keep it at the same facility. We can make Arnie drive. You're only going to save him about 5 or 6 miles if you move somewhere else. So we need to be real consistent where you're at there. So we make that happen. So thank you, Pam, for sharing that sign. And y'all, personally, you can get signs made about anywhere. I just go on to Vistaprint. They seem to be pretty simple to work. You can build your sign online. They have them to you in a few days. That's where I get my bandit signs. I don't buy 50, 25, 50, or 100 signs. I buy them a few at a time because I like to change them around. I like to change them up and make them look different or put something different on there. I don't change my number. I don't change my website or anything. I just change the wording maybe and play with that a little bit, see what works, see what doesn't work, and where are you getting the calls from. So thank you so much for bringing that to us. And then we are going to go to Mr. Dennis Henson. So Dennis, can we get you on board right quick? There you are. Look at there.
I'm here.
Good evening. How are you doing, Dennis?
If I was any better, then have to be two of me.
There you go. We I don't know if we can handle twin Dennises or not. But there will be a lot of stuff that's really organized if we did. So a lot better than what's going on overseas. That could fix that maybe. So
yeah.
So we've had a great call tonight, Dennis, and got a lot of stuff happening throughout this. Tony had a wonderful story talking about that property down in Temple that he's picking up, and he's going to do a really quick flip on that or wrap. And so, Dennis, tell us what's happening on your end.
Well, I'm really excited about Real Impact. We're growing and things are happening. Our students are being super successful, and everything's just really going well for that business. And we're just wrapping up the putting together the getaway, and we have 30 rooms filled. So unfortunately, there are no more rooms. So if anyone's interested in the getaway, then you can get on a waiting list. We had 2 back out because of COVID last week, but we fill those rooms immediately. We're going to be doing another one early next year. So if you are interested in the getaway, you can sign up for it at mastermindgetaway.com, but it'll just be a waiting list. But first come, first serve. If you're the first one on the waiting list and someone else backs out, you'll get it. That might be a good idea, but read about it. And that same website will tell you about the one that's coming up. Now that this one's closed out, we'll start building the next one. It's going to be great, though. We got some wonderful investors coming, a lot of talent there, and getting to network with these people and having breakfast, lunch, dinner with them. Since we're bringing such a large group, the resort is providing us a special dinner. It's going to be catered. We'll have our own waiters and waitresses, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And they're providing us a cocktail party. So I had to redo the entire agenda to fit that in. And then Norma had a great idea about having a mastermind for just our IMTs. That's our trainers. And I called Ed Zinnerman, who has the largest real estate group in Oklahoma, and he's going to be doing that mastermind. So that's going to be a great week down in Cancun at the now Sapphire. So I'm excited about that. We got a lot of things going. Wonderful speakers coming up. We got Roger's going to be putting on his subject 2. I think it's in November. So he's going to go around to all of our groups and speak, and then we're going to have a weekend event. But Roger can tell you more about that than I can. Personally, my real estate business is going great. I'm continuing to. I've written 4 books, completed 4. I'm planning to do 12. All about. Most of them are about real estate. Several of them are on success and business. So I'm just having a really good time. I'm just having lots of fun, making lots of money, and enjoying my life.
All right, Dennis, that is just, that's phenomenal. And I'm so excited that we're going to be part of that getaway that we're having in September, the 22nd through the 26th, I think it is, or something like that, somewhere in there.
That's right.
So, but yeah, get on that waiting list if you have any intention that you'd like to go. We'd love to see you there. So 30 rooms, that's 60 people that are going to be at this getaway that are like-minded investors that, I have never met anybody in my life that I haven't learned something from. I've met people that I've learned things not to do, but I've met a lot more people of learning things what to do. So this will be a fun time. Dennis will, of course, Dennis and Norman's going to be there. I'll be there. Karen Maxwell will be there. All the IMTs will be there. Randy Hughes, which is Mr. Land Trust, will be there. Ed from Oklahoma City, which is a phenomenal guy. I mean, he just really knows his stuff. He's going to be there. So we're, and I don't think, did I leave anybody out?
No.
Okay.
Ed Zinnerman is, his specialty is commercial and multifamily, and he's really good, very knowledgeable.
Very good.
Able to learn a lot from him. Karen, her expertise is CRM, and if you don't do that, if you don't use a customer relation manager, then you're not getting as much out of the real estate investing business as you could. So come and learn about that probably next time, though.
All right. Good deal. Yeah, we and then you mentioned the subject 2. So there's some news on that. Believe it or not, my publisher is claiming that I'll have those books the 1st of October. We'll see if that really happens or not. I'm very excited about it. It's been done for a while, but the printers have committed. So we'll see how far their commitment goes on that. But we are going to be having on November the 14th, I believe it is, we're going to be having an all-day subject to class boot camp. It's going to be in South Fort Worth in the Forest Hill Convention Center. So more information is going to come out on that, and we're going to be promoting that for all of our people out there. And we do this about once a year here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We did not do one last year in 2020 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We did one in Wichita Falls and one in Longview, which were very successful. And we're seeing lots of stuff happening there. There's actually a lady on the call tonight that is one of our students that she's got some questions for tomorrow. So she's going to give me a call tomorrow. So Stacy, I'm looking forward to your call when you do call. But we're excited about the all-day class on Subject 2s, and we're going to give a little 1-hour preview on that at most of our locations in October and November. I'll be there talking to you and answering those questions one-on-one. And once again, as Dennis said on the getaway, I'm going to be there. So if you are on the getaway, don't be shy about asking questions. I am more than happy to answer any of those questions. Same as Dennis and Ed and Karen and Randy and everybody, every IMT that we have that you saw on the call tonight, and some of them that aren't on the call, will be there, and we'll answer any of those questions we have. We're not going to be meeting every day for just having meetings. We're going to be networking at meal times. We got a couple other times we're going to be networking at, but we don't want to break into any of your time of going on any excursions or laying out by the pool or laying out by the beach or parasailing or any of that stuff. So, we don't want to mess up any great stories that you have where, maybe you parasail and fall out of the parachute or something. We need good stories. So there you go. We'll get viral on YouTube or something on that basis. So good deal. So Dennis, thank you so much. Yes, we're both very excited about what's happening with Impact right now, and really our students and how I think we got in the last 2 weeks we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we got 6 new students in the last week and a half. So that's exciting. That's majorly exciting. So we have lots of stuff going on here. And we're seeing, once again, like Dennis said, so much excitement when we see one of our students become successful. That is why Dennis and I do this business. That is why the IMTs do this business, is when we can help somebody go from their drab job to living life on their terms. It is just incredible. And that's why we have 60 people going to the getaway. So good deal. Dennis, you got anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right.
Hope everybody will join one of our meetings this month. Hope that you'll do that, support our groups, because the groups are there to help you, and they can't help you unless you show up.
Absolutely. So if anybody has any questions on getting involved in this, feel free to reach out to any of our groups. Reach out to us. We'll get back with you. We'll talk to you about it, tell you what we have to offer. But it's absolutely phenomenal to see the success that everybody has when they take our courses. I mean, we give you the opportunities to really change your life, and we want to see that happen. So with that, we always try to keep this call under an hour. So we're at 48 minutes right now, almost 49 minutes. So thank you, everybody, for being on here tonight. Hope you, I don't know if we have any other questions or anything, but, if you have any particular questions, just feel free to give us a call, reach out to us, email to us, message us, whatever. We'll get you answers to those questions. So thank you so much for being on here. Y'all have a pleasant night and have a wonderful tomorrow. Thank you. We'll see you next week.